Greetings, everybody. Hello, all my Cancers. Cancer gang, gang, gang. How are you this Monday? All right, I am back to do a Cancer versus Everybody workplace edition. Specifically, we're going to look at Cancer versus your bully at work. Okay, there's always one every workplace, someone who's out to get you for no good reason, or maybe they do have a reason that is good. But either way, this advice stands so that have a idea of what their next move may be or how to defeat them, and so that you come out on top, Cancer. That's right. So Cancer, how we're going to do this is, I'm going to give a general message that covers, in general, the workplace situation with that bully. And then we'll break it out into their sun sign. So this is for all my Cancer sun sign people. Happy birthday to those of you celebrating today. And so it's for my Cancer sun sign people versus their bully's sun sign. Okay? And if you have more than one, this will help you, as in it'll break down with more specific advice. You can look at each of the individual sun signs for the person that you're in competition or in battle with at this time. Okay? All right, let's get some general messages on the board. All right, so first off, I have the Seven of Swords, followed by the Six of Cups, along with the Hanged Man. And right off the bat, I'm seeing some real deceitful type energy. And I'm seeing a situation here in particular that involves stealing something of value. So what came to mind was intellectual value. So someone stealing your work and taking it as their own. That was the thing that immediately came to mind. But I'm also getting another message of kind of along the same vein of either hiding something that you've done in regards to your work. So for instance, if you had something that was due and say you have it in your desk or on your desk and it hasn't been handed in yet, but you've already worked on it, just waiting for the moment when you actually will go to hand it in. I see someone taking that off your desk and hiding it so that it's missing, and now you're made to look bad in front of your boss. Or someone just stealing a file or placing a file onto your computer or other type of electronic device, whether that's like a phone or a computer. I'm just seeing something with information being messed with in a manner in which to make you look bad, Cancer. All right. So those of you that have those types of positions, that's some specific general information for your situation that you will want to be aware of. I think, though, while there may be an initial Ten of Swords moment where it's like when you know this and when you discover that the work is gone, it's going to be like sudden defeat. Like, there's going to be that moment where you're in front of whomever you report to, and it's going to be missing, and it may be discovered at that moment, and it's going to feel horrible because now, the blame is on you. Like, where is this? What you knew? You had weeks to work on this, whatever the case may be. And now it's not here and it looks like you're the liar, right? It looks like you're the irresponsible one. And so that's that Ten of Swords moment. You've been stabbed all in the back. But I feel as though it will turn around in the sense of the Six of Cups. Someone actually coming around to believing you. So this may be your supervisor or someone else who has influence with your supervisor who takes note of the fact that, I don't think this is Cancer's fault, and kind of, speaks to the supervisor, whether you're aware of them speaking to them or not, but someone going and saying, hey, supervisor, Cancer, I kind of believe Cancer, he or she, here's the reason I believe it, and blah, blah, blah. And so kind of creating some softness there for you from this harsh Ten of Swords moment. The other scenario that came specifically to mind was one where someone with knowledge of this bully doing this to you, goes to management on your behalf anonymously and lets them know that it was not your fault that this happened. Okay. And I feel like that person will want to remain in that instance anonymous, because they don't want to get in this big battle that's going on between you and this bully, Cancer. But they felt bad when this happened to you, and they felt that was too much. Like the bully was doing too much. It was unfair. And so their way of rectifying it isn't just to come straight out and say, hey, bully, you shouldn't be doing this to Cancer for everyone to see. They kind of go in an anonymous way and report what they saw, okay, or what they have knowledge of. And that is how you get off the hook as far as this incident happening, which really was not of your doing or your fault. So the Hanged Man reverse, you're no longer being strung up in that way. Your release, it's a release from this tension, from this situation for you. All right, so those are the general messages. So let's go into the specific messages for your bully sign. So Cancer versus Errrybody messages. And the first three suspects that we have on the board are Gemini, Taurus, and Cancer. So if your bully is a Gemini sun sign, Taurus sun sign, or another Cancer sun sign, here's what to expect, how to proceed, however Spirit's going to give us this message in each of those particular situations. All right, Spirit, so we're looking for messages for Gemini, Cancer versus Gemini, Cancer versus Taurus, and Cancer versus another Cancer. Wow, that Seven of Swords came up again. And so, oh my goodness, I totally reshuffled here and I got the same three cards in the same order. Okay, this is bizarre. I totally was shuffling that whole time I was talking after pulling these cards down. So this is just blatant confirmation that these things are happening for some of you. And oh my God, so especially be aware of this, because I just heard in my ear, they may be unaware of who it is that they're actually facing. So like a situation where people are going behind your back this whole time, stabbing you in the back everywhere along the way, and you don't even quite know who this person is. If that's the case, if that's what you've been facing, pay particular attention in your work environment to those individuals who are Gemini sun sign, Taurus sun sign, and Cancer sun sign, because there may be more than one of them. But that situation that we just discussed with the hiding of the work, the stealing of the work, these three sun signs are they're the individual or individuals doing that are going to be of these signs, is what I'm getting. Wow, that never happens where I get the same three cards in the same order after reshuffling my deck again. And I was shuffling. That's bizarre. Okay, Spirit, powerful message. My God, Cancer. And so for the more specific messages, with this Gemini sun sign, this Seven of Swords message here is definitely one where this Gemini really has it in for you. Like, they've got it on hard to defeat you. Like, that's what they have in their mind. They are hardcore about it, and they have thought through numerous scenarios onto how to get it done. And the feeling is that they're going to take you through numerous scenarios in order to backstab you in this way. Their goal is to get you to leave that place of employment. They do not plan on stopping until you head out the door, whether that is through being fired or of your own, you just quit. You just get so tired of the bullshit that you quit. And move on. That is their goal. And I can feel the harshness of the swords as I'm delivering this message. And I can even feel the taste of metal in my mouth so they are not freaking playing in regards to this. This is their hardcore mission. But I do feel as if everything that they are doing, this Gemini, is very sneaky. It's very they're not being out in the open doing it. They're definitely doing it, in secret. So the message that I get about the way to defeat this Gemini at their own game is to find a way to expose their little messed up activities that they're doing to you. You have to find a way to expose them. And it's not enough to just find out what they're doing and go to the boss, right? They need to be exposed for everyone to know. And that will send them running for the hills. That will put a brake on the brakes on what they are doing and what they have planned. They don't want to be publicly exposed for this. Like, everyone in the workplace, everyone on the team needs to understand what this person is doing. And you, Cancer, would need to have the receipts. All right. So messages for those Cancers versus Taurus sun sign. With the Six of Cups, I am getting a very distinct impression that this Taurus is playing, when I say playing, they are pretending to be your friend. They're pretending to be your friend while they are doing things behind your back, okay? To make you look bad. But they're the one that's going to be up in your face, pretending to be your friend. And I also feel like they appear to have a particularly good or cordial relationship with whomever you report to. So and it's almost like a sneaky thing where they use conversation with you to pull information out of you that they can run and go tell. It's kind of like, that game that jealous people play when they pretend to like you and they have a conversation with you, and you might talk about a few personal things, but you're just having pleasant conversation. But everything that you say, they later go back and twist it to make you sound bad. That's what I'm getting with this Taurus, okay? And I keep seeing like a lot of men around this, and men, um, males that they are going to and actually telling these stories about you too. So, and they all are like people who have some type of position of power in the workplace. So they're just kind of spreading their lies all around. All right. So really the best word of advice that the tarot is giving me right now on this is just put the brakes on indulging this person as they come to you to have these little conversations. They might just stop by your desk or walk up to you and strike up a conversation in the break room or something. Just kind of put the brakes on that. Like, say hello and goodbye at the same time. Whenever they show up, you're leaving. So there's no time to have these little talks. There's no time to do these little things. They'll ask you for your little opinions on things and stuff like that. And it's like, keep it real tight-lipped with this Taurus. All right, Cancer versus Cancer. I have the Hanged Man in reverse. All right, my clarifying deck just kind of jumped all out my hand on me. So, Cancer versus Cancer, Hanged Man in reverse. Wow. So this person, they're really put off by, this other Cancer is really put off by you. They feel like you outshine them, and they also feel like you're going to get a leg up on them. Like, you'll go further, like as far as like raises and promotions than they will. And they really are taking that competition, to heart. Trying to pull some clarifiers here. Give me just a second. For those of you that this is applying to, also be careful if you've got anything going in the workplace as far as a romance is concerned, because I can see them trying to use that to get at you by going forward and depending on your workplace environment, right? Some workplaces that kind of thing is forbidden, and so they would go report you. And in some workplaces, it's not necessarily forbidden. There's just kind of a neutral feeling about it. But in this case, that person will be trying to twist it into something that higher ups would then look upon as this particular situation with your romance. There's something that is, interfering in the workplace, making people non-productive, that kind of thing. So that is what I am getting as far as messages for Cancer versus Cancer. All right, let's get some more suspects on the board here. And I have Cancer versus Leo, Cancer versus Sagittarius, and Cancer versus Virgo. All right, Spirit, so we need some messages here. Let me get my message deck. So Spirit, we need some messages here for Cancer versus Leo, Cancer versus Sagittarius, and Cancer versus Virgo. And the Three of Swords in reverse, the Nine of Wands, and the Magician in reverse. So Cancer versus a Leo bully with this Three of Swords in reverse. What do we got here? Give me just a moment. You're going to get some messages. Somehow you're going to get a message that's going to give you a heads up, Cancer, on what this Leo is up to that you don't know about yet. Like some kind of plan that they have to do something. You're going to get a heads up, and that heads up is going to give you enough energy, or time rather, sorry, to suit up in your armor and take on this fight with this Leo. This Leo thinks they are going to just be able to run over you, but you're going to give them a fight. The fight of their life is the words that I heard. Like you're not going to fall down like some little punk is what I'm getting. As soon as you get this heads up, it's going to, because it feels like you're kind of clueless at the moment as to what this Leo's next move is going to be, but pay attention, because you're going to be tipped off regarding what this Leo is doing, and that's going to give you what you need to suit up and take them to task. If they think they're going to run over you, they are wrong, and they have met more than their match. So, Cancer, you're going to be fine in this situation. You just need to pay attention so that you get the messages coming in regarding what this Leo is up to. All right, Cancer versus Sagittarius. I have the 9 of Wands. All right. Give me a moment here. Sagittarius is, their little nefarious activity against you is going to be blocked. I see something that they have that they're going to be coming at you kind of guns blazing, and it's going to get blocked on them right at the last minute. And they're not going to be successful in pulling off their little plot. In fact, yeah, they're not going to be successful at all. It's going to, I feel like the Sagittarius kind of has a, this can be a man or a woman, but the individual has a graceful way about them, or at least that's how people view them, is what I'm getting. Like, yes, people like them. They're popular. And people would view them as either gentlemanly or very, gracious, depending on, male or female. But whatever that they've got coming at you with this 9 of Wands that gets blocked, if you can see this arrow, all right, and then there are these 9 wands, and it's like when I first saw the card, I saw the Sagittarius like shot their arrow, and we know the Sagittarius, if you know anything about astrology, they're the archer. See, and I just noticed there's even a arrow here on this card with the bow and arrow for the Sagittarius. That's their symbol. So they shoot their shot, and it gets blocked by this whole barrage of wands here, so it doesn't hit you. It's blocked. And so you really need to keep your defenses up in regards to this Sagittarius. And this 9 of Wands, with there being so many wands here, it's a warning to cover your ass at every turn. So it often takes more time and energy throughout your day at work to do so, but think about all the CYA, cover your ass activities that you need to be doing on a daily basis. And that now is not the time to be slipping up. Cover your ass every time you do anything. Make sure that everything, have all your receipts lined up in a row so that you are able to cover yourself whenever it's necessary, because when the Sag comes at you, that's what is going to be the thing that blocks them. The fact that you have, that you have covered yourself at every turn. And because they kind of, sorry about that, I just got a phone call. Because they kind of come out of the shadows in order to attack you, that's going to expose them. They think they're coming out to shoot their shot and that they're the archer. Archers are very good at shooting down things with bows and arrows, right? They have precision in their aim. So they think they have their moment and they're going to shoot that shot and that it's going to land. That arrow is going to take you out. That's what they plan at. So they come out of the shadow to literally shoot their shot, and then their plan is to sink back into the shadow. And the shot hits you, the arrow hits you and takes you out, and kind of no one's really aware of what's happening. But when they come out of the shadow to shoot their shot and it gets blocked by your wands, right? Now everyone takes note, like, oh my God, Sagittarius did that shit. Okay? We didn't know Sagittarius had that in them. So they fall from grace. They're no longer, they're seen as like this graceful person who now has done something very disgraceful. All right? So cover yourself, Cancer. All right, Cancer versus Virgo. And I have the Magician in reverse. This person, even though Virgos are known for being very detail-oriented and very good at knowing exactly what needs to be done for them to do what they want to do. In this case, I feel with this Magician in reverse, like this Virgo really doesn't know exactly what they're doing. They don't know exactly what they're doing. And this, the more I look at it, as this Virgo feeling all out of sorts too. Like they're after you, but the fact that they don't exactly know the right exact moves to proceed to get what they want is unnerving them. It's unnerving them. So you can use that to your advantage in how you proceed, Cancer. In particular, if there's anything you can do to kind of like, you would want to do it in a very sly way. But all is fair in love and war, and workplace bullies, that's war. So if you were to proceed in a very sly way with, depending on the situation, maybe saying or doing things that kind of unnerve this person a little more, that makes them feel a little more like they don't have a good handle on how to get at you. If you can do that, it'll do a mental thing on this Virgo that keeps them confused. Also, if you are into any kind of magical work, like if you're going to take a magical approach to it, I would work on confusion on this Virgo. That's how I would do it. But the fight's not over by any means. It feels like a longer battle with this Virgo, right? It's not going to be like one little incident or thing happens that takes this fight off the table for you, Cancer. Virgo's kind of in it for the long haul, unfortunately. All right. Last three suspects are Gemini, Taurus. Oh, that's not true. I'm confusing my cards. Oh my God, I used the wrong pile. What is happening over here? All right, Cancer, tell me, are you guys feeling confused? Because I'm over here doing shit that's confusing me. And I usually keep my little ducks here very organized. All right. Sorry, guys. Aries, Scorpio, and Aquarius are the next suspects on the board. let me just be very mindful of where I'm sticking these cards. I normally do not get confused about that in the middle of a reading. So Cancer, if you are feeling confused, because everything happens in a reading happens for a reason. So if you are feeling confused, take some deep breaths and work on focus. Like, do some type of meditation before you even go into work for the day to keep your mind sharp and focused, okay? Just the act of meditating, even for a few minutes every day, naturally does that. But if you do have any meditations that are specifically aimed at focus, increasing your mental focus, do those before you go to work. Because I think some of the pressure of dealing with these types of situations over a long period of time does do a lot to wear away at you. All right? So take care of yourself and make sure you're doing all your little self-care practices as well. All right, Spirit, let's get some messages here for these guys. And I have the Page of Cups in reverse, the Sun in reverse, and the Star in reverse. So with this Aries bully, I have the Page of Cups in reverse. And what I'm getting from that is this feeling like they're going to come to you, this Aries, with an offer of a truce. Like, hey, I know things have been tense. Let's just agree to disagree and let's just not be at each other's necks, okay? Because we're all part of a bigger team and it makes no sense whatsoever for us to be distrustful and dishonorable towards each other. That type of thing, know that when you hear that from this Aries, it's false. It's a fake truce. It is meant to disarm you and have you let your guards down. Don't fall for that, Cancer. Aries is, yeah, they're planning on going in for the kill after they get you to put your guards down. All right. And yeah, whenever they get you to put your guards down, and because I feel like this fake truce will be followed up by more friendliness from them. Whenever they get you to put your guards down, they're really going to go in for you. They're going to go in. And you won't have much of a defense against that. So be aware of any fake truces coming your way from this Aries and keep your guards up, Cancer. All right. Cancer versus Scorpio. I have the Sun in reverse. Give me a moment here. With the Sun being in reverse, like if you work during the day, I have a feeling that this person is up at night plotting. Like, so if your shift was a day shift and you guys go home at 5, 6 o'clock or whatever the time may be, I have a feeling like this Scorpio is up at night just thinking about ways. It's really a devious kind of feeling. And I get that from the fact that the sun is out, you're at work, when the sun's in reverse, you're at home having your downtime. All right. Also, I'm just looking at this Scorpio partnering up with partnering up with someone in the workplace in order to get at you. So there's someone else there, is what I'm getting, at work that doesn't like you either. However, maybe they just don't have like a huge, strong distaste, which makes them go out of their way in order to, come at you. But, Scorpio's being chummy with them, and that person, as a result, helps Scorpio out with their activities against you. All right. So what I'm getting is, look at what's being done in the dark. Sun in reverse would be more of a darker, time. So it's not the moon necessarily where it's midnight, but look what's being done in the dark. Look at who Scorpio is talking to in the shadows that you may be unaware of at this time. Like you, I feel, don't know that they have this alliance going with this person. So it's someone that they talk to, but you are not fully aware that these people are working together against you because you haven't yet taken note of the fact that they formed an alliance. So keep your eyes open and look at who Scorpio is chit-chatting with in the shadows so that you know who your enemies are. And that will give you a clue as to what direction they'll be coming from so that you can defend yourself. All right. Cancer versus Aquarius. I have the Star in reverse. Let's see. The Aquarius's plan is to, so Cancer, it seems like with your little badass self, you're a bit of a star in the workplace. You're looked up to. You've had maybe some recent achievements that have gotten you recognition. And the Aquarius is looking to turn that upside down. Like that shine is something that is their plan to take away from you. All right. And they're going to come in with they're coming in for their attack, but their attack isn't very well planned. Right. And because it's not well planned, you'll be able to dismantle it. Okay. And the way you're going to do that is through your intuition, the high priestess, with your highly intuitive Cancer self. Once you see the direction that they're coming from to attack you, Spirit is going to provide you with intuitive instruction through intuitive hits, listening to your gut. You'll know how to navigate that attack and turn it around on them. Okay. So Cancer, you can outdo the Aquarius at their own game as long as you're listening to Spirit, as long as you're all those gut instincts, all those inner knowings that you should be listening to will lead you to the finish line and around this Aquarius. They won't be able to touch you, is what I'm hearing. All right. So, last three suspects: Cancer versus Libra, Cancer versus Capricorn, and Cancer versus Pisces. Okay. Spirit, let's get some messages on the board for these people. All right, Cancer versus Libra, I have the Nine of Swords. And again, I'm getting a very strong feeling that with Libra, if you pay attention to your intuitive hits, that intuitive information coming your way, you will be able to outdo this Libra at every turn. It feels less like it did in the last set there, with it being like, I think it was Aquarius, where I was talking about the person coming in for an attack, and then you would have the intuitive hits that would get you around the situation. It feels less, okay, Libra doesn't feel like they're just coming in with a very specific attack at this time. It just, it feels like, you know, they're definitely a hater, and they're laying back in the cut or whatever, but they just kind of throw some things out there here and there, maybe start some shit. But you, listening to your intuitive hits, will know how to navigate those. All right. So it's not getting hit with a arrow. It's just having people, like a lot of scuffle kind of energy in the workplace where people are talking and chit-chatting and whispering about you. But you'll be able to kind of get around what's happening with your keen intuition and listening to that information as it comes through. Also, I get along with that, with this Nine of Swords. If you listen to it and you start to undo the damage being done by this Libra, it's going to unnerve them. It's going to put them into an anxious state of mind. It's going to turn their little work world upside down. So if you want to dish it back as good as it was given, Cancer, listen to your intuition, because it will guide you to the right things to say to the right people at the right times. That's going to actually unnerve Libra, which is really what they deserve. I don't get that this person is necessarily like with some of these other bullies. I could feel distinctly that the other bullies were out to like have a Cancer fired. I don't feel that specifically with Libra. I just feel like this is a messy ass individual that likes to keep up shit, and you're just their latest target. Or maybe you're a target that they have, and then nothing's happening for a while, and then they come back and stir up some shit later. That's how I'm feeling about Libra. Just someone who just makes you miserable at work, not that is necessarily out to get you fired, right? All right. Cancer versus Capricorn. I have the Four of Coins. Let's see what I get with this. Capricorn is like working like a snake behind the scenes. So you see the snake head, but if you notice, the snake is all throughout the card. But he's really behind all four of these coins. So Capricorn is working like a snake behind the scenes, and because of the way they're doing that, a lot of what they're doing is hidden from view. You don't really know that it is them that is striking. Let me get some clarification here, because there is more to this with this Capricorn that needs to come out. Yeah, so they're a little dangerous here, because they are working behind the scenes to create a tower moment for you. And they're trying to strike just the right chord. They haven't found it yet, but I think they're onto it, to strike the right chord, like, and what I mean by that is like the right conversation, the right activity. They're trying to put their finger on what exactly needs to be done at this time to create this tower moment. They haven't quite figured it out yet, but they're on their way to figuring it out. Hold on one moment. Let me get some more clarification here. Yeah, so they want to knock you off your throne here, Cancer. And the Lovers kept, every time I would do something, the Lovers would pop out. So it's supposed to be here. So this is like, they also, Capricorn is partnering up with others, right? And okay, so that brings me into a more specific message for some of you dealing with this situation with a Capricorn. There may have been something that took place in the workplace, Cancer, where it was perceived by Capricorn and others that you made someone look bad and that you did that purposely. And that may have been the case. No judgment here. But that this whole thing in that particular instance feels like retribution for what that incident was. And that person who was dethroned or made to look bad by Cancer has teamed up with Capricorn to take you down. So that's a very specific message that may apply to some of you. The other thing that I would get out of this is that this Capricorn is trying to dethrone you and that they are partnering up with someone else. And it feels like this partnership is big. So it almost feels like Capricorn is teacher's pet. So they are, they're really good with someone in charge, or at least with someone with more power than they have. And so they're working with that person in order to make sure that this happens. They may even, depending on the situation, and this goes into another more specific message, Capricorn may have a workplace romance going on. And they are utilizing that person they are involved with in order to take you down, Cancer. Okay, so you'll know if one of those specific messages is for you. And that's what you need to be careful about with the Capricorn, Cancer. So next message is Cancer versus Pisces. And Cancer versus Pisces, the message is the King of Wands. Let me get something more specific here as I look at this King of Wands. All right, so with this Pisces, this whole situation has not come close to coming to an end yet. This is an ongoing thing. But what you need to know about it is sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down. And I get very specifically that, this Pisces may have had a leg up on you thus far. But that wheel is going to continue to turn. And so sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down. So as it continues to turn, Cancer, you'll find yourself in a better position. But again, the wheel turns, Cancer. So what that means is, even though you might find yourself in a better position in regards to this scuffle with this Pisces, you won't stay in that better position. Like, it's ups and downs. It's a cycle of ups and downs with these, with this situation. For some of you, there's a specific message here that you will want to look for something new as far as employment is concerned, because this is going to get really dicey. For others of you, and probably the bigger message for most of you, is this Pisces is out to make you look as if you don't know what you're doing. They're going to take a direct strike at your ability to, do your work in a professional manner. For those of you who may be in management positions dealing with this Pisces, they're going to take a direct hit at how your ability to lead your team. They're going to go at you that way because they feel they found some weaknesses in your job performance. And I feel like this Pisces has a record of it. So they either have a record of something that has occurred or several things that have occurred, or they have a little notebook where they keep notes of inconsistencies and things that they can prove to be problematic about your job performance. So that is something that may be really hard depending on how long that's been going on. It may be very hard for you to navigate through it, and I'm not saying that it's impossible to, but I think that's why there was a specific message that came up for some of you, that it may be easier at the end of the day to look for another job. Okay? Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. We do these readings so that we have, the upper hand as far as information is concerned. You want to be reasonable in that, before you take any actions based on the information that you're getting here. You want to just really take a long, cold, hard look at what's happening in your situation. Okay? That goes for everyone who's listening. Please, if this information has been helpful to you at all, please give me a thumbs up. Like my video. Follow me. Subscribe. All those wonderful things we do on social media. All right? It helps me tremendously. I'm trying to get these videos out to as many people as possible. So share them as well. Please energetically help me out in that way. It's very free for you to do so. So please, why not? Why not give me a thumbs up? All right. All right, Cancer, it's been a joy. Good luck to all of you with your workplace difficulties. And we'll check in on this energy and in the near future to see what has stayed the same and what has changed. All right. My best to all of you, and I'll see you next time, Cancer.